He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Come
on! Sick.
What is up, Jabronis? JJ back here with the crew. Snyder, Mangone, Kurt. Tell you this, sick is right, Kurt. That's a new little pre-show promo. Fuck with that.
I think I got cut out of it though. I didn't see my face there. That was hurtful.
Yeah, me either. Fuck me, I guess. Cool.
Yeah, I mean they made this like sick promo that includes none of us. It's a tough scene.
You just hate to see it.
Yeah, I mean I'll tell you what. Those kind of things you don't hate to see is you in a tank. Absolutely love to see it. You know what? Maybe one of these days, Kurt, Mangone, you two will grow enough balls to wear a full-fledged tank like my man Snyder's wearing tonight. So just to be clear, you bring a tank to the show, you go first in every round. So congrats to you, Snyder. You'll be leading every segment off today. So I know it's a lot of pressure, but pressure builds diamonds or makes diamonds. The saying goes something like that. Mangone knows what I'm talking about. Look at Mangone, just thrusted into projections right now, eyes glued. We'll start with you though, Kurt. Last week, how'd it go for you? Anything positive or negative you want to discuss with the class?
Stay alive in the single entry leaderboard stuff. This is the most pivotal week for anyone that's been playing the single entry leaderboard stuff. This is the most pivotal week. It's going to be a lot of scoring. The winning score is going to be like 200 plus more points than the previous two tournaments. So you can really climb those leaderboards this week. I'm looking forward to. I kept myself alive and in good position. This week I'm pouncing, as will all of us. Good stuff.
And Travis, you have this like fiery look to you tonight. I don't know what it is. Maybe when tanning this week. Maybe it's just the red shirt. You just got this like what looks to be an urge about to pop out, like smoke out of the ears. Are you frustrated with something?
No frustration, just locked in, right? Third show of the day. I heard that intro not just 3 times, I heard it 4 times because Holden heard it the first time and said, I got to hear it again, and started it up again. So I've heard it. I've heard the intro. It was awesome. Also, very hurtful to not mention that I hit my big.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah. What the hell? Why do we not tweet that, bro?
Yeah. So I apologize. So that's on me. And it was my boy Vic. I mean, you know, I'm always thrusting Vic. I guess what I felt was Snyder clipped his clip the last time, and I got used to that. So I apologize, Mango, and I should have clipped it. That's on me. Accountability.
I even sent the text, like I didn't send the text that said, "Hey, Dunkel, clip it." I sent the text where it implied, like, "Hey, I hit my outright."
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. You are 100%.
That's okay. Maybe I'll get a clip tonight, and maybe Dunkel could be like, if you missed out on the bet show, Mango brought a winner last week. Be sure to check out this week. Who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky, but
fair point.
That's okay. We're gonna grind away, and hopefully we can hit another one. Maybe Dunkel doesn't want one outright; he wants 2. So that's okay. I'm for it. So, but it should be a fun week. One thing I've remembered about, I don't know if it's this week but some of these kind of weeks that are just like they feel like super lame fields, and you got some studs up top. Like, man, those are the weeks that I get very nervous about some of these guys up top, and I like to kind of find some darts on the leaderboard. So excited to break it all down with you guys and talk about how we're going to handle this DFS and betting slate.
Love it. And yes, the worst part about how I feel about losing out on Vic is because you're one of those guys that sticks with Vic every week. It would almost be like if Morikawa won and Snyder had him and I didn't clip it. I mean, you stick with Vic every week. You finally landed it. And where am I? Nowhere to be found. Tough scene. So, yes, apologies. Speaking of where we don't have to ever apologize, Snyder, I'm sure another week at the office for you. Again, another week. It seems like more and more Arsenal is behind you. How'd everything go for you last week?
Last week was pretty terrible for me, honestly. I think that might have been – I didn't play as much last week, and it was not good. I had a really good team in that 2-2-2 single entry until my guy Morikawa withdrew Sunday morning, so that was very hurtful. Looking forward to bouncing back this week, though.
Awesome. So we'll head over to some people's favorite segment of the week. Some people's favorite segment of the week is Snyder's Soldiers. But Snyder's course preview, Canadian Open, obviously there's a lot of fun news between the LIV and the PGA, and I'm sure everybody's got their own takes there. But needless to say, it has impacted talks on the Canadian Open because it's overtaken those conversations. But give us a little course preview here, and then we'll go with the DFS, Snyder.
Yeah, we're here at Oakdale Country Club for the first time here for this Canadian Open. It's a true members-only course here without any special innovations to account for a PGA event here. Unique setup here as well, 12 par 4s, 3 par 3s, 3 par 5s. The par 72 is going to measure 7,264 yards. I expect a birdie fest here this week. I think the winning score is going to be somewhere around -16 to -20 potentially here. There's going to be a few tough holes on the front nine, but then we should mainly see just a ton of driver wedges here. I think there's going to be 8 par 4s here where we should see players left with wedge in their hands as they approach the green here. There's going to be 7 holes with water in play here as a creek runs through the property here. The rough looks to be pretty tough here if you miss the greens. The fairways are only about 25 yards wide on average. The rough's going to be 4 to 5 inches thick here, bluegrass rough. Slightly larger than average greens here at around 6,000 square feet on average. The par 5s will be attackable here, especially hole 18 when it plays under 500 yards. Key stats here this week: strokes gained approach, birdies are better percentage, opportunities gained, total driving, and then putting with an emphasis on bent grass.
Had we not give you a solo layout all season long with the course preview? Obviously it's accentuated in this episode, with Jason, of course, mentioned in the deltoid top, and you can even kind of from the right angle, you can actually see the traps moving around behind. Impressive stuff. But of course, more impressive than that was the breakdown. Now, Snyder, we'll stick with you for DFS. I know we heard some talk pre-show about, super chalk, unsuper chalk. But so maybe you could talk briefly on that. But in relation to who you like this week or who you're going to be overweight on in DFS at the top and the bottom, who is it?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing a lot of Corey Connors this week. I think he's going to be the lowest owned guy, 9,300 and above. He's actually got some really good history, recent form heading in outside of the missed cut at the Memorial last week, but he was 12th at the PGA, 8th at the Wells Fargo, 19th at the Zurich, or 31st at the Heritage. He was 6th, not at this course last year, but he was 6th at the Canadian Open last year. So I think Corey Connors is going to come in, I think, right around 15%, which could be about half the ownership as Rory and Cameron Young. I can't believe Cameron Young's getting steamed up as much as he is. He's missed the last 2 cuts. He was 59th the week before, his event before, 51st at the Heritage. So he hasn't finished better than 51 in his last 4 events. The short game has been absolutely terrible for him. In the iron play, the approach play has been break even at best over these last 3 or 4 events as well. So, I mean, I could get buried here again this week, but I'm definitely not going to be eating that Cameron Young chalk this week. I think best of luck to those playing him, but I'm getting different here and playing Corey Connors about half the ownership up top. And then I'm going to move down to a different Young. No, I'm going to play a different Young this week, Carson Young. I think he's potentially the best play on the board, points per dollar there. He's coming in at 7,100. I've been playing him quite often. He was a soldier this week. He's been a soldier a couple times this year as well. I think he's one of the best plays on the board. Top 21 or better in 4 of his last 6 events. The irons and the flat stick have been great for him. I think he could really pop here on this easier track too. So I like Carson Young at 7,100 for a value play.
Love it. Love it. Kurt, on the DFS end, are you drinking this Cam Young Kool-Aid like it seems like a lot of people will this week? Rory Kool-Aid or somewhere else at the top? Muted, Kurt.
This might be the highest owned someone's came in such bad form than I've ever seen. Such bad form. It's crazy. So I can't do it. I'd much rather just – God, you can't even bet him because the odds are so bad. They're like 12 to 1. It's everything about him so gross. Just pray that he doesn't just have – please don't find form this week, Cam. Just get 40th and move on. But no, I kind of agree. I love the ownership game up here. Sam Burns, 12% will be my guy up top. Just an ownership thing. It's like all these guys are 20%. I'll take a guy who has win equity, Sammy Burns. And are we going value too already?
Yep.
Vincent Norman. I love that guy coming into the year. I have like 5 guys I was watching from the Corn Ferry. I was like, man, I really hope this guy does good. He's got his Sweden teammate or countryman Oddberg is making his pro debut. So maybe that fires up old Norman to get the dub and maybe contend here. Vincent Norman. And also Forest State Seminole Vincent Norman, baby.
Norman with 2 R's. Norman.
2 R's.
Mangone.
Soft R's.
Quick question for you. This might be a layup for someone of your caliber. Guy like Cam Young sees this type of random steam for an event like this. Does it impact how you build lineups at all?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be high ownership on Cam Young this week. And I like Cam Young, but I had him originally in the core, and I said I got to take a step back. I can't do it. I think it doesn't make any sense. It's just I get it. He's a good play. But if you're going to play Cam Young, you definitely make sure you need to make your lineup a little bit different. I'm going to go with a different approach. And I talked about this at the Charles Schwab. I talked about how at that event, it wasn't like this like absolutely loaded field, right? There were good golfers there, but it wasn't this one where you just had John Rahm, Scotty Scheffler, like all the guys at the top, right? You had Scotty there. At these events, I like to make sure I get a guy that has a really good floor. I feel really good about Tommy Fleetwood's floor. I talked about it at the Charles Schwab. I thought he was a good play, and he missed the cut. What can you do? But going along with the theme that I've been, Dunkel, we stuck with Vic Hovland. He treated us well. Let's stick with Tommy Fleetwood. He's going to treat us well in the DFS streets. Listen, we look at that Charles Schwab leaderboard. At the top was Griot, Shank, Harry Hall, Scotty Scheffler, P. Haley. I don't even know who P. Haley is. I'm going to be honest. Sammy Burns, Ricky Fowler, Michael Kim, Hubbard, Homa, Streelman. That was the top 10, okay? This definitely is going to be a leaderboard where I don't see all these guys at the top. I think some of these studs are going to miss the cut and miss it at some pretty high ownership. Tommy Fleetwood is someone that I like his floor here. He did miss the cut recently. I think this is a great bounce back spot for Tommy Fleetwood. So I'm going to go with him in DFS. And then I'm going to go to a guy that I believe Snyder's talked up before in the past. It is Mr. Ben Martin. If you look at Ben Martin's stats, he's been pretty good as of late, really good with the approach. He's been good at the what's it called? The fairways gained, birdies gained too as well. Overall, all the stats that I've been looking at, looks like Ben Martin grades out really well here. I think he has the chance to be top 10 at this event. So he's going to be a guy that I like in DFS, and I think he's a great value while other people are going to other options. I'm not saying Ben Martin's going to be 2%, but he's not going to be like the chalkiest guy in that lower 7K range as a value play.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And look, we went through an entire round of DFS, and really nobody mentioned Rory. Interessante, as some people will say. Snyder, you're outright. This is a chance. I know some people might not say there's value on Rory, but I doubt you're going there, but maybe you are. Who's your outright that you think has the best value to win this tournament?
Yeah, I'm not going to go to Rory. I think there's just going to be too much kind of going on with him inside the head with all this live versus PGA type stuff. It sounded like he was pretty kind of lost for words almost in his press conference. He wasn't too happy, it didn't sound like, but it just kind of is what it is there. So I'm going to go with my guy, Corey Connors again. He's 22-1 to win this event. I think that's pretty good odds to win this event. I really like him at 22-1 for my favorite outright then.
And then Snyder, because we said we were going to stick with you at the top of the show, we'll just go with a double banger for you. Your long shot. Who do you think, from a value standpoint, has at least decent upside to win at their price for this tournament?
Yeah, I'm going to go right back to both DFS plays right here. I'm going to go with Carson Young at 90-1 to win this event. He's popped a couple times. He's been inside the top 15 at a couple times that were stronger fields than this. So I think if he can get everything rolling here, I think he's got a chance to win this. He was 14th at the Byron Nelson, 21st at the Charles Schwab, 15th in Mexico, 19th at the Heritage. So those were some pretty big time fields there in a couple of those events, and he still was right there. So I think in a kind of a watered down, easier track, I think this is a time where maybe Carson Young can at least get there on Sunday and allow you to hedge out and get some plus EV there on Sunday with him.
Good stuff. And then we'll slide over to you, Kurt, for an outright. I know there's been a few names mentioned. I know Snyder stuck with his DFS guns, which I've been trying to promote more of with you guys, kind of sticking to your guns. And when you're right, you're going to be right the whole show. When you're wrong, you're going to be wrong the whole show. So, but either way, Kurt, outright, who do you like?
Going Mr. Sahith Theegala. It's 28-1 on FanDuel right now. Other places and earlier could have got it like over 30-1 odds. But Sahith is a guy I think will get his first win this year. I kind of like how the track sets up for him as far as it's not completely like going to be 26 under. but it's about what Snyder said in that 16 to 20 range. I like that for him. He can go out and get birdies. The guy is so talented. Let's go, Sahith.
Good stuff. And then your long shot. You have a long shot you like for this tournament, Kurt?
Go to Mangone first. Let me
No need to force it. Obviously, it's a bit of a top-heavy tournament in certain ways. Mangone, though, how about your outright? Do you have somebody in mind at the top that made sense for value to win the tournament?
Yeah. So it's funny with all the PGA Live stuff going on here. Here's a fun little narrative we can play. Whoever wins this event, it'll probably be pretty forgetful, right? Because this will be the big, everyone's going to talk about what happened. Couldn't we easily forget Tommy Fleetwood's first win on the PGA Tour? And honestly, is this now the PGA Tour or is it still a European Tour, right? Fun little narrative, but regardless, he's just playing really well. Vic was a guy I talked about, I just thought he was playing so well. Look at Tommy Fleetwood. Here's his last 24 rounds. In this field alone, tee to green, 4th in the field, ball striking, 10th, short game, 9th, off the tee, 21st, approach, 10th, around the green, 8th, putting, 28th. I mean, this dude is literally just one of the best players right now. It's really hard to argue with in this field, Tommy Fleetwood. And yes, I know guys that won an event. I said this a couple weeks ago. I considered making him the outright. I did not make him the outright because I was worried about him not winning, but I don't know. The number is just too good. And this is a weak field, right? This is the type of field that if Tommy Fleetwood wins an event, this is the type that he wins. He's not going to win that big major as the first one, I don't think, but this is the type I could see him winning that's kind of a more lame event.
Fair enough. And Mangone, do you have a long shot in mind for this tournament? Somebody that's a little deeper down the board that has some value or not this week?
Yeah, Dunkel, I'm following your advice and sticking into my DFS guys. I'm going with Ben Martin at 110 to 1. I just think it's a really, really good spot for him at the upside just too high, right? If you look, he's one of these guys that scores really well birdie-wise. And again, this is going to be a higher scoring event, right? This is not going to be a one where we look back and it's a -5 that wins the event. It's just going to be clearly one of these guys that hits 20 under or 18 under. And Ben Martin has the ability to go low when the irons are hot. The irons have been good. Listen, his around the green game, it hasn't been so good. But if he has to depend on his around the green game, we're probably not winning this event. We're betting an outright where we're trying to get first place. So give me Ben Martin at 110 to 1.
And Kurt, you have your hand up. Does that mean you're confident in whatever you're about to say?
Yep, I like it. A guy who was in bad form, took some time off, came back, hopefully shook a little rust. 100 to 1, Aaron Wise. Just a play on talent there. Aaron Wise, 100 to 1 on FanDuel.
Tough. Snyder, we'll slide over to you for T20s. And our boy Jason mentioned young top 20 plus 330. DK loves that. Why don't you briefly give your thoughts on that bet and then talk who you like for T20?
Yeah, I really like that bet as well. I'm going to be pretty much all in on Carson Young this week, so I definitely like him in all formats. That's good odds there, too. I'm going to go with a guy kind of similar to that. He's a plus 300 I've got on FanDuel. Make sure to price shop, though. Michael Kim's plus 300 on FanDuel, the top 20. But if you look at DraftKings, some of those other places, he's only at plus 220. So make sure you get the FanDuel price tag there at plus 300. He's finished inside the top 10, 2 of his last 3 events, 19th at the Zurich, 30th in Mexico. So he's been right, showing that upside. I think he's definitely live to win this event even. So I like Michael Kim quite a bit. He's in my core on the website too, to just give away something for free to the guys watching. 7th at the Wells Fargo, tough loaded event. 6th at the Charles Schwab, pretty tough loaded event as well. So I really like Michael Kim to top 20 here at 3 to 1. I think that's a great number on him.
Good stuff. And then Kurt on T20, anybody pop out for you on the T20 market?
Yeah, going right above Snyder there. Plus 310 on FanDuel. Maverick McNeely, the guy who was kind of outspoken and was asking the hard-hitting questions in that meeting. His dad's worth $1 billion. His family's really rich, and I think he likes track like this. He's also the Workman's Play of the Week. I didn't know that until this morning. I was already on for top 20. I did this article really early, but Mav McNeely, I'm completely riding AP's boy. I think he has a bounce-back performance here. He's been kind of meh.
Yeah, what do we got? So plus 230, that was?
No, it's plus 310.
Oh, well, yes, there's a huge discrepancy between FanDuel and DraftKings. So that's FanDuel.
Did you see that thing on Twitter about how FanDuel kind of pays out their top 20s and stuff? Did anyone else see that? how
No.
their terms, they kind of do a very shady thing in their terms, but I don't know if it was debunked or anything. But yeah, I've never had an issue with it. But I guess
I know a girl that works at FanDuel. Maybe I can get your number and you can ask her about it.
she hot.
Listen, I'm not gonna say. You know, I'll let you make the decision for yourself. It's 2023. I don't even know if she's a she or a him. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
Mangone T20. Let's also be clear. There was an ex person that worked here that now works for FanDuel that may be able to pull some strings as well. But Mangone T20.
That was the joke.
Hashtag would. Can't, but would.
Mangone T20. Who do we like this week?
Oh man, that's too good. T20. So let's go with since Kurt was speaking of wood, let's talk about his wood. Alex Smalley. Alex Smalley is going to be the guy that I go with. That's the option for top 20. He's kind of like Ben Martin if you look at some of the stats, and it seems like things are clicking for him. Last 24 rounds. Listen, the dude can't putt, but we get putting's a stat we kind of throw out the window a little bit at times. And top 20 he is at plus 220. You get the approach play though. He's 9th in the field. Tee to green, he's 16th. Off the tee, he's 39th. A lot of stats that I'm looking at that I feel like he grades out really well. He's also one of these guys that he's got a high ceiling, in my opinion. He's one of these like younger guys that we are banking on, kind of betting on long term, being a pretty good golfer a couple years from now. So Alex Smalley is going to be my guy at plus 220.
Awesome. And then, we're just kind of blasting through this. Snyder matchup. There a target matchup you had in mind this week? Somebody you're looking to fade, maybe somebody looking to go overweight on, or maybe just a specific matchup you like?
Yeah, the matchup just lines up absolutely perfect for me this week. You get the lone guy against the chalk donkey, I think, this week. You get Corey Connors plus 105 versus Cameron Young this week. I'm just all in on this week, so we'll see what happens. Could get buried here this week, but it could be a very good week as well if Mr. Connors can outdo all the chalk there in Young.
I'm going for that Corey Connors sweep board this week. Kurt, matchup. Anything really poke out to you?
Gotta say, not much really. I was actually leaning on that. I kind of like that bet too from Snyder, but I like Rose too much against Igawa too. You know what? I'll go Taylor Pendrith over Ben Griffin. Go Canada. Taylor Pendrith over Ben Griffin is plus 100 on DK. Oh, Canada. My home and native land. Nobody? Okay.
Bonita Beach, the letter P. I'm not sure if that's like a half smile. It's hard to really.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, baby.
Mangone matchup. What do we like?
Yeah, matchup for me. I'm going again, Dunkel. You preached it. Let's stay a tight core this week, right? We're going back with Alex Smalley plus 100 over Nick Taylor. Again, I like Smalley's odds here. Nick Taylor's definitely a favorite of the RPS guys. I see Snyder shaking his head. So Snyder, I have not tuned into the Soldiers yet today. I had 3 shows. I will tune into the Soldiers after I watch the NBA show here with Big T and JSU on the premium side. So use that code SUMMER33 to get 33% off if you want some NBA winners after us. And then I'll listen to the Snyder Soldiers during the NBA Finals game while I'm sweating out the Nuggets and the Heat. But do like Alex Smalley. Think this is a good spot for him. We get him at plus money. I was sweating the Rory McIlroy matchup last week because Rory was at the top and so was Vic Hovland. But doesn't matter what Rory does if he finishes high up in the leaderboard when Vic Hovland chips it. So it was good to kind of sweep the board with that. So hoping to sweep it again this week.
Good stuff. And I think it goes without saying who the MVP of the show is. Dun. Snyder brought your A game like you usually do. Everybody else brought their kind of B and C game. But between the tank top, between you leading off every segment, just feels like, you deserve the number one spot for the end of the show. So walk us through some things we have to look forward to. Obviously, your Soldiers, if people missed them. What else is going on?
Yeah, I've got all of my content up on the site, the playbook, the cash chart. Core Plays is up. The round 1 showdown will be coming up here after the show. I'll have that up. I'll have round 2, 3, 4 showdown up as well. 2 shows this week with the showdown to round 2 and round 4 showdown. I'll be on with Kurt on Saturday, I believe, the breakdown round 4 showdown. and the Soldiers is up on Twitter. Make sure to go over there, like, retweet, and follow me. You'll be entered into a draw for 2 Million Maker tickets next week. I'll be giving away 2 Million Maker tickets next week to the $25 Million Maker. So head on over and check that out, please.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Jason. Mahova, yeah, she's my girl, and she's a bit of a legend killer. I'll be honest. I think out of everybody left, as crazy as this might sound, I think she's the only one that could beat Iga. But
I am oddly attracted to Sablenka.
You like him tall? You like him tall?
No.
She's tall.
I would lick her butthole. I want to breed with her.
Mangone's not into the ass eating. You could just tell.
I don't know what it is about her, bro. She's hot to me, like so hot.
She cleans up really well too. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's definitely pretty, but she's just a tall woman. If that's long legs.
I just don't think the things Kurt says. I don't think I'd say in private. You know what I mean? Like.
It's only us and my 20 closest friends here. Nothing.
Yeah, so just to be clear, Jason, I'd love to bet Mahova. To me, it feels like such a fitness fade for her. We talked on some of the things with some of the other players. Svitolina got waxed by Sabalenka. Sabalenka would have to play so bad to lose to Mahova tomorrow. It could happen, of course, but I'm just going to stay away myself. I am going to find some interest, especially if the line gets steamed even further. On Djokovic, though, as a dog against Alcaraz, just feels like the type of match where Djokovic will grind him down mentally. Even though Alcaraz is better, of course, but we just saw it last year, the year before, when Nadal grinded him down mentally. But needless to say, in relation to golf, Snyder, great job today. Well, the new thing moving forward is if you win best efforts in the show, you get to talk final notes. No one else does. So a little extra incentive for you guys to step your shit up. So maybe next week, Kurt, Mangone, maybe next week you can have some final notes if you actually, perform admirably. I don't think you performed poorly today. I just think Snyder was night and day.
Doug, I just want to let you know, I'm like Brooks Koepka out there. I only care about the majors on this show, so don't you worry. Next major, I'm coming for him.
Good stuff, and Jason, always appreciate you popping in. And Bonita Beach with the letter P. Marquee moment of the show. Marquee moment of the show for all of us. But look, folks, as always, gamble responsibly, stay safe, and yes, run pure. We'll see you guys next week.